Hello and welcome to Lightning Component Development Session Day 15. This is Amit from SFDC Panther. So today what we are going to do, first we will complete the create contact. From that we leave from yesterday in the previous session, and then we will see what is the use of Lightning tab and how we can create the Lightning tab using OR iteration. And then after that we'll start working on the lab work that we also discussed on the previous session. So for the completing the create contact component button, let's go ahead and edit and complete the functionality of edit button. So we are working on this edit record. We also created a method that is edit record, and our next step or next logic is to create a new component event so that the parent component can handle event. So we will name it as select record event submit. Oops, we created the component instead of event. Let's delete it. Now let's go ahead, event, submit it, and here we need to use component instead of application, and we will create an attribute or a column attribute name equal to same, put the same, here we will save it, name say contact, then type will be of contact. So now what we'll do, we will register this event on the contact review component. Let's go ahead, register this or a column register event. Name will be, let's put it as same, and then it will be type C as a namespace. Now this. Now what we'll do here, we'll just get the event component dot get event, and you will give the name, and then we'll use setParam method to set the properties, and then we'll execute. Here what we are going to execute this select record here, and then get the name of the parameters, name of the attributes from the event. Now what we'll do, we will register this event on the parent component, that is contact contacts. We will handle the event here. We are not going to registering. Handle name equal to same event, C as in a namespace, then name of the event, and then what is the action. So here C dot handle select event. Now create this method. Oops, we don't need this helper. Go to controller, create a method, now here we'll just, for now we'll just alert will that handled, and then we'll get the selected record, that will be event dot get param, and here we'll give the name of the attribute that we are setting from the event, and then we'll console that console.log, and here selected record, and we are going to log this first name. So now let's go ahead, open this account detail page, refresh once, and after refreshing the page, let's put any name like Arun Singh, email arun@gmail.com, title Salesforce developer, phone number anything, any random number string. Add review, we are going to change Arun Singh, Arun A Singh, title everything. Now what we are going to do, we'll just click on edit button and we'll see if you are able to handle the event in the parent component. Click on edit button and you can see that event handled. So now we are able to handle the event, but here we are not able to get the value, but we are getting undefined. So okay, this is because of this spelling mistake. So as now we are able to handle this record, now what next we need to do, as you can see that this contact review component and this lightning create contact component are not related with each other. So this particular component, when we say that this particular component, that is create contact component, will not be able to handle the event that is being fired by this contact review component. So what we will do, we will use the concept of Ohana method to call the method of this create contact component JavaScript methods from parent component that is itself contacts. So first thing what we will do, we will create a Ohana method on create contact components. So let's go ahead, create Ohana colon method. We will name it as select record. Action will be same as C as an action provider. Name of the method. Access equal to, let's make it public, and inside this we are going to use Ohana colon attribute, name equal to contact, and then type this as a contact. And here in controller, let's go ahead, create a method name as select record, and put the alert here in create contact component. Now let's go ahead on the contacts here. To call the child method component using the Ohana method, we need the Ohana ID. So here we will see that create contact, and then here in this method do handle event, select event, we will get the create contact, that will be component.find, and here in the find we are going to use, and then this is the method name, and in the method name we are going to pass the contact record here. So let's copy this Ohana ID and use here inside the find. So now here what we do on the create component controller, we will get where params event dot get param, that will be arguments to get what are the arguments are being passed from the parent component, and we will check if params, then we will alert, we will not alert, we will get contact record, that will be params dot the name of the parameters here what we are, that is contact, and then we will console dot log here as a contact record that will name as contact record dot last name. Let's save it. Now let's go back to the component, refresh this. Okay, let's name it as Arun Singh Salesforce developer, and then phone number any random 10 digits. Add to review Arun Singh, and then click on this particular Arun Singh to check whether if you are able to get. Okay, we can see that event handled. We can also see that in contact create component, and you can also see the select record first name as Arun Singh that we are debugging on the parent component, that is this one on the child component contact review component, that is it's a parent component. We are debugging first name, and then on the create contact controller we are debugging the last name. So now if we are able to get the contact record, what we'll do, we'll just set that contact record to this attribute so that the value will automatically be changed. So let's use the same way, the same functionality approach that we do, that is component.set vn value provider, then dot, then attribute name, and then what value we need to set here. Let's go ahead, refresh the page again, put down this. Now I'd like to check with 2 different contacts or 3 different contacts. First let me say that with my name Amit Singh, amita@gmail.com, title is Salesforce developer, and then phone is some random number. Add to review, I'll say Arun Singh as arun.singh@gmail.com, Salesforce consultant. Add to review. Now I would like to check with Amit Singh. We'll see, you can see that the value has been changed. Amit Singh, amit@gmail.com, Salesforce developer, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So this is how you can just click on edit, or you can just click on go ahead and click on remove, click on edit, whatever you can add. You can add multiple times, you can add the same record at multiple times. So if you wanted to if you wanted not to add this record at multiple times, you can also add your logic that not to add the duplicate records on the list. So this was the same sample thing that we got. Now if you click on save contacts, we will see that contact has been changed, and it is also saying 3+ contacts. Now if you click on view all, it will show me all the contacts that we created today, and yep, these are contacts that we created today. So this is how we can work. We can use all the concept that we use, like aura method, and then we also saw the functionality of component events. We also use the validation of component. We use how we can create the reusable components. So there is one thing that I can notice is that here I'm not able to identify either it is first name, last name, or title, or anything else. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a table here, and that will show the header that will first name, last name, email, phone, and these are the actions that we are providing here. So let's go ahead, first open the SLDS, as we are going to copy the CSS for table from here. So let's go ahead, and we will find for the tables data table, and then we just want the base. So just copy this code here, and before we go ahead and paste that code on the component, what I need to do, I'll open this notepad, go to language, select as HTML. I'm going to remove this tr tag. Okay, yep. Now let's go ahead, paste this code here on the component, that is contact review. So here we are going to use that table, Control A, like select the part, then use shift and tab combination to align the code. Now here it is first name instead of opportunity name, and then title and value as same, and here it is last name instead of account name, so it will be last name. Remove this, it's email, so here it will be an email. And then okay, we are also going to, now we are going to display the title itself, so phone and then title. So here on the T body, what you need to check, okay, you can see here body in the division tag. So how many headers we have? We have 5 headers, so we are going to remove this, and then we are going to return 1 2 3 4 5. So we are also going to remove this table data as well. Now what we are going to do, we are going to put this row inside our iteration. We are going to put this row inside the data table. So what we are going to do, let's go ahead, use this iteration inside the tr, because for every contact we need to create a new row. So we'll create a new row for every contact. Title will be the same thing like it is if it is contact first name, so it will be first name. We are going to use the same here, and then it's for the last name, so it will be last name here. Then here it will be email, that we are going to use an email. It's a phone, oops, it's contact email. So let's make it as email, and then here it will be phone, and on the last it will be title. And along with the title we also have one thing that we wanted to put here, the buttons. Oops, these buttons that we wanted to put, so we'll put these buttons as well. Now indent this, let's go ahead and check what output we are getting now. We'll just check with some random numbers, as we are not going to insert those. Okay, You can see we are getting now. Okay, so we are getting title, we are getting in the form of table now, so we don't need the code that we are using below here. These are our iteration code we don't need. I think it will also work. Yep. One thing what we need to do, because this table displays without adding we are any particular if we are not adding any record, also we are able to see this particular contacts. So what we are going to do, we are going to put this complete division under aura if, and this particular division will only be displayed if the length of this record is greater than 0. Sorry, length of this particular attribute, that is list of contacts. So now I'll check this, I'll refresh. Check with any, add to review. You can see if I remove this, it's all gone. If I click, like, let me change this, add to review, if I click on this, I'm also getting the values. So this is how we applied all the things. Although we missed some things like creating the dynamic components, modal and all that, we'll also cover these all things on some other exercise. So these were the parts that we missed yesterday, that we left. So now next thing is lightning tab. So lightning tab is basically helpful whenever we wanted to create the different tabs. Like if you wanted to create the tabs for account, contacts, opportunity, cases, or any custom objects, we can use lightning tabs. So to create the lightning tab, this is the sample syntax. That is, if you wanted to create the lightning tab, we must need to enclose those tabs inside the lightning colon tab set. Tab set is nothing, it's a collection of lightning colon tab. And we will, in this exercise, we will see how we can create simple tabs, then how we can create vertical tabs, horizontal tabs. So let's go ahead and create the lightning tab component. So here on the developer console, as we are done with this part, so let's go ahead and close whatever components are not needed. Okay, so now let's go ahead, new lightning component, and name it as lightning tab. Okay, so here inside lightning tab, what we need to, lightning colon tab set, and then we will use lightning colon tab. We can use label, same as item 1, or we can say that, let's say that account id equal to acc, and then here we can say that account info, and then we'll use same account opportunity, contact, case, we can say that case ca se, we can say here case info, and then we can name it as contact. We can provide the id as contact here, we can say contact info, opportunity, we can say that opp, and then here we can say that opportunity info. So now here, to see the output, let's go back to our application that we created, that is lightning application. Here now comment out all these things. Oops, what happens, this contact component as well. Okay, now we will use c colon lightning tab, preview this, you can see case, contact, opportunity. Now what if I wanted to change the look and feel of this tab? Like I am just seeing that this particular thing is selected because of this blue line. So to change this thing, we also have one thing, that is we can set the variant of the lightning tab set. What should be the variant? Let me go ahead. If I change this variant as scoped, and now I refresh this, you can see it has been already changed, and now we are also able to see how the look and feel has been changed. So as this is, there is no space from all over, so first thing that we always do, that put the things inside the division tag and made the padding from all around. We will do the same here as well. Okay, don't we have any component? Okay, this is this class we are going to use. So here we are going to use this particular class. Now let's refresh. You can see there is now what if I wanted to this case info as a selected info? As we refresh, we see the account. I don't want to see the account tab as a selected tab. I just want to see contact, case, or opportunity. So how I can do this? So let's go ahead. There is an attribute that is selected tab ID. We can give the ID that we are here providing. Let's say that contact. If I said here contact, save this, refresh the page, I'll be nope. There is some SELECTD selected tab ID. There is oops, let's go ahead here on the component library, find tab, then lightning tab set. No, not here. Yep, this is I think there was some typo mistake. Nope. ID contact. So why it's not working? Label ID, selected tab ID, tab set 2. Okay, it's contact ACC. This is same. Oh, oops, we are putting the thing on the wrong place. This is going to work. You can see because ID is ACC. Now we'll change this to account. Sorry, now we'll change this to contact. Refresh the page. You will see that contact is already selected. Now these are the tabs that are here working as a horizontal. Now what if I wanted to see the same tab as a vertical? So there is nothing, we just need to, we can change this variant. If we'll change this variant as a vertical instead of scope, we will be able to see the information on the vertical. You can see the same information on vertical. We are able to see all those things that if you wanted to see. I wanted to see the account information, click on account information will be on the right. Now this is the static text that we are putting here, contact, opportunity. Now what if I wanted to, let's say that this particular component is responsible for showing this top 100 account, cases, contacts, or opportunity information. That means we are fetching all the records at once to display all this information. Or what we can do, on selection of this particular tab, that means whenever this tab is active, we can call the server side controller to make the component as a lazy initialization, to increase the performance of the component. We can do that. How we can do that? So there is a method that we can call, there is an attribute onActive, and then in onActive we can call a method that handleActive. We can just put this method all for all the tabs. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to implement this method here. You can see handleActive. So how we will get which component or which tab is active? So to get the event information, what we will do, we will create a tab that will be, we will get dot event dot get source. From this we will get the information of the tab. That means we will get the information of this particular section, whatever the tab has been selected. Let's say that I am selecting contact. I will get the information of contact here on this variable. Now what if I wanted to check, because the ID is different, that is unique for all these, I will get ID. So what I will get ID, I will get, let's say that tab ID, we will get tab dot get, and then we'll use the same approach, v is an value provider, and then ID, the attribute of ID. Let's say for the testing purpose, I'm just putting the alert here to see the tab ID, if you are able to get the correct tab ID or not. So here what we'll do, you can say that tab ID is contact. Tab ID is contact for 2 times because we are using 2, and the default value is contact for both. Now if I click on table, tab ID is OPP. You can see if I click on account, this is account. So we are able to get the tab ID. Now we can use the switch case here to check why either, let's say that switch on this tab ID. I'm not familiar, so let's go ahead here on this component. Oops, data tab set. You can say here lazy loadings, and here we can use this switch case. So we can use this, no issue. Copy, paste here. Instead of tab.get, we are going to use this particular thing. And now here, let's remove all these things. We are going to check ACC, case, contact, OPP. So here in the case, we are checking whatever the ID we are getting, and then we can use whatever we wanted to use. Let's say that I can create a parameter for account here. Let's say that I'm creating a parameter that is aura colon attribute, name is ACC info, and I'll give it type of string. Okay, so here what I will do, I'll just set, I'll check if the ID is account, I will set the value here for the account. So let's say the component dot set here, we dot this, and they'll say that account information goes here. Okay, so now let's go ahead, refresh this particular page, and we'll see account. Oops, I'm not able to this. Why? Oops, why? Because we didn't use this component. So what we'll do, we'll use the value provider and set the value for those on both places for the account. Let's go ahead, click on account. You can see that account information goes here, account information goes here. So as you wanted to see, it reflects on both places. What we are going to do here, we'll use as ACC, and one we'll use contact. So now you can see account information goes here. If I click on here, account information goes here. So this is the basic things that we can use for increasing for improving the performance of our lightning component with the help of lazy loading. That comes under onActive. In onActive we can call the method of JavaScript, get the ID, whatever the tab ID is there, and then use the switch statement here, and then on the basis of those things you can use that case information, account information, or you can call the helper method, JavaScript helper method, and that helper method can do the manipulation like calling the server-side script, getting the required information, and then rendering the data whatever we are getting from the server side. So next thing is lightning dynamic type creation. So when we say that dynamic type creation, that means we have some pick list values and we wanted to show the tabs based on the pick list values, and let's say that I have pick list values, 3 pick list values as of now, and in future the values are getting increased or getting decreased, or like adding or deleting. So how we can handle this? So we will going to create the aura ID with the help of aura iteration, and that means we are going to create the dynamic tabs. So for that, first let's go ahead, create a tab, that is attribute name will be, we can just put this options, sorry, and then type will be of list, and then default will just default is, let's say that account, and let's say that contact, and let's say case and opportunity, whatever all tabs that we created. And now here, instead of these tabs, let's go ahead and use the aura iteration, iteration, use the items here, v.options, and then where will be here, where or we can say that item, and here we are going to use just a simple lightning tab that we'll use here. For label we can say that item, onActive, handle active, ID, we can say that as of now just say that item. So now what we'll do, as we are getting here account, so instead of ACC we'll check for the account. So let's go ahead, refresh this. Now you can see that contact, opportunity, account information goes here, contact there is, because we are using the same attribute for all these things. You can see we are using all these things here. So what is the active tab is account here, but it is okay, onActive, item ID is item. Okay, so what is coming here when we are using first time, alert this. Okay, so this is, I think this is not working because the item ID is first time is ACC. Why this is taking as a ACC? Because here we are providing the selected so oops, it is taking from here ACC, so that is why it is not working. So we can just comment out this for as of now. So because we are calling both the same method from both the components, now you will see the ID, oops, it's not working. Now it's working account. Why it's not calling at the time of initialization? And active, selected type ID, contact. I think we can remove this. Now let's go ahead and check. Now we will see account, and that was not working because of that selected tab ID, that was account. So this is how we can create the dynamic tabs. And we can also, let's say that if you wanted to check, if you wanted to show the tab conditionally. We can also use or if here. We can use or if is true. Let's say that I just anything here we are not able to get. Oops, yep, we can check or if is true, item equal to account, then only show the tab, otherwise don't show the tab. You can just use the or if. That means if item equal to this, then use this, otherwise show the tab but don't show the information here. Let's go ahead, check this. It's account, you are able to see the information. Okay, contact we are not able to see. Okay, so why we are getting two times? Because we need to put this particular thing inside or else, that is or colon set attribute equal to else else attribute that will take as else, and then inside else condition we need to put this tab. So now we will get only one account tab there and then the other three tabs. You can see account, contact, case, opportunity. So and now this is the way that we can work with the tabs in the Lightning components. Okay, so the other thing that we have is that we need to start work on the lab work. That was now what we are going to do in our project. We are going to implement add to cart functionality, so that the user can add multiple beers at a single time, can place the order. So what we'll do, we will just create the cart info component and we'll add to the header component to show the cart details. So for the ease of the tutorial, I already added this particular component, that is cart info, and inside that cart info I use lightning layout to create the layout of the component, and then inside that lightning layout I'm using lightning layout item, and then inside that we are just using the utility class with the and then here as of now we are showing the default values as a 0, but we will show the number of beers item that has been added to the cart, and we are using the red color of the cart. We are changing the CSS SLDS icon text default, that we are changing as a red, we are filling as a red. So now let's go ahead and go back to our application and see how we are able to get the details. And yep, one more thing, that we added this component inside our header component here on line number 27. If you open your header component, find this division tag, and then the second division tag that you are using SLDS page header underscore row. So above that division tag you need to use cart information component, and if you go you will see this particular cart here you are seeing, and this the count, the number of beer that we are going to like if we'll adding here a new button that will be add to cart, and once we'll implement add to cart, that particular count will going to update here. Let's say that I'm clicking on all three beers, the count will be 3 here. So now let's go ahead. First thing what we need to do, we will be adding the add to cart button here on the footer of beer list component. So let's go ahead, now find this beer list component, open the source, then beer list component here. So here as we are using lightning cart, and then we are using actions, inside action we are using button that is showing the information. Now what we are going to use in footer. As of now we are using footer the name of brewery, whatever the name is there. Now we are going to use that here. We'll display that information here. Then for footers we are going to use the same approach, that is our column set. Here we are going to use footers. And button, this will be add to cart instead of view details. Oops, yep, okay. And then here will be add to cart. Go to the controller, open this, add to cart. Okay, we are getting the source, we are getting the name, we are getting the value. So here on the name we are getting the ID of the beer, and then here in the value we are getting the name of the beer. As we have the list of beer, we can get which particular first we can get the index, whatever the index of beer has been clicked. So here we can just use index where, the concept of index, put index here, and instead of name here we are going to use, oops, yep, here on the value we are going to use as an index, so that we can get which number of not the number of the beer that we clicked, what was the order of here, and now here it will be index, it's beer ID. So now what we'll do, we'll get selected beer, that will be component dot get without this, and then as we have index, so we need to use this one only. And now console.log this, console.log, you can just check with the help of ID only. You can also alert this. That's because why we are doing what we are doing here. We are getting the record list, that means it will return all the list of beer, and then we are getting the beer record, that is whatever the index that is here in this list. So let's go ahead, refresh the page, and we will see the change in our component, and we'll also see what are the things. You can see add to cart, we are also see, okay, here we need to put the BR tag, will do. Now if you click on add to cart, you can see the ID here, add to cart, you can see the ID, you can see the difference here, KXT QAG, KXR QAG. So here you can see that we are getting the ID of the record that we are clicking. So yep, that seems cool. So now what we need to do, just remove the alert here, and then here put the BR tag. Yep, now it will look okay. So now what we need to do, as the cart info component is a different component, and here we have the ID, okay, we have the selected beer, and we need to send this information to cart information, as cart information is being used here in under header component. So how it will work, okay, so let's open the source header component. You can see that header component is using the cart information, and this header component is used by the component that is parent component. You can say that it is beer explorer. You can see we are also using beer list component. So this is the main component that is responsible for having header component, the search component, and then beer list component. So what we are going to do, we are going to make a call, we are going to create a component application, component event that is going to handle this. That is, the component event will be going to fire whenever we are clicking on add to cart button, will be handled by this Beer Explorer component, and from that the action of Beer Explorer, we are going to call the method of header component with the help of or method, and from there we will pass the information of the whatever the beer has been added to the cart information, because cart information is the child of this header component. So let's go ahead, create a component event. We can also use the application event, because this particular all these things are coming under an application, but the same thing is here, that the application event may be and can be handled by all the events that may breach the security, and this is why we are using our component event. So let's lightning event add to cart, component, and same thing we are going to use here. We are going to use create an attribute that will hold the beer record. Now this time type will be object. Why am I taking type as an object? So that we can use as a generic. So now here let's go ahead, come to our beer list component. It's a beer list controller. First we need to register that event, so let's go ahead do that. Aura colon register event, name it as add to cart, type equal to C colon add to cart. That's it. Now we are going to get this event here, where add to cart event component dot get event. Here we are going to use name, then we are going to use the set params to set the record, and then we are going to fire this event. Okay, so here what parameter or attribute that we created is, okay, order detail, that is not needed, close this as of now. Yep, this is needed. Header component is also needed. Name is beer record. Go back to the controller, and in beer record this is the selected beer that we need to send. Okay, so here we are firing the record. Now let's go ahead to the component that we are going to handle, that is Beer Explorer. So let's go to the Beer Explorer component. I'll call handler here. Instead of type it will be event, and then action equal to c dot update cart. In the update cart, what we are going to do, create a method get the parameter that we are sending from the event, that is beer record. So let's go ahead, copy this beer record, and now if okay, component dot set v dot beer record, and set this beer record. Now we are going to add a new attribute that will hold, oops, I don't think we need to hold this, we just need to put the aura ID here, header component and we need to get where header component equal to component dot find to go to the attribute, and then first we need to create our method here. Our method name equal to update cart, action equal to update cart, xx equal to public, and then use an attribute type equal to object. Yep, so this is the object that we are going to create this method in the controller. So first we will get the params that we will use event dot get param arguments. We'll check if we are able to get the parameters. We'll get the beer record, params dot beer record, and now what we'll do, we'll create a list type of attribute where we'll create all these, where we will store all beer information. So let's make it as a type of object, record list, company.set v.record list, and then in this record list, just where existing records component.get. What we are doing, we are getting existing record, let's say that we already have 4 items added, and now we are adding one more things. It should increase the count to 5 instead of 1. So we'll check, we'll get the existing record, we'll check if existing record, else if existing record, then existing record dot push, and then push this beer record, that list, and now use component.set v dot this. If there is no existing record, allocate the memory to the variable add the record, and then set the value. So what we are doing, we just clicking the component. So now let's go ahead to the component. Method is this one, and we need to pass a parameter, that is params. So header dot this. Oops. Now let's go ahead, refresh this page, and see if you are able to get the alert on this handle component. You can see that header component. Yep, we are able to get, now we are able to get the details on the header component controller. We are also setting the record list. We can just go ahead and here next to message we can just try to put the length of the record. So now let's go ahead, refresh this page. You can see that there is nothing, and L1 2. So this is how we are able to get. Next, what we need to do, as card information is the child of header component, we will add an attribute here. That will be the same. Let's go ahead to the component, header component, copy the same attribute so that we can have the information of beer record as well. So, once we will click on the cart, we will go to the cart information component, cart details component. So now what we are going to use, we are going to pass this complete list from this variable to this variable. Now let's go ahead, refresh the page. We should be, as there is no value. Oops, why we are not getting anything else? We dot record list. Record list is a variable here. Okay, there was a typo mistake. Also do one thing in the controller, remove this alert parameter. So go ahead, remove this. You can see 1 2 3 4. Oops, it's view detail. You can see. Now what we can do, we can also show a success message that your item has been added to the cart. So here we can just create, here we can create a message. We can go to the tab set, come here, find show toast, the standard event. We can copy this code, paste it here, title success. You can item has been added to the cart, and here you already have beer record. So what we'll do, beer.name, this has been added to the cart, and here we will use one parameter, that is type, and we will use as success. So now let's go ahead and refresh this page, and we'll see if you are able to get the toast, you're able to get the success message or not. Add to cart. You can see that this, the beer name, whatever the beer name is, you can see has been added to the cart. So this is how we can, now we are updating this particular thing. Next thing is to make this button as clickable. Whenever user is clicking on this button, we need to redirect to the new page, new component, that is a cart detail component, which will display the information of all the beers that has been added. And there they can specify, will also show the input field next to each beer so that they can specify the quantity that they wanted to order. And then we will do the needful that needed to make this application working. So this is why that was for today. I hope you have got some new thing to learn, like lightning tab or iteration, and how the lightning components works, how our methods is useful while we are working with the application that are not the components are connected through the application but are not connected with each other. So this is how we can use. So on the next tutorial we will come with some other next exciting features and exciting topics. So stay tuned with SFDC Panther. Thank you for watching the video.